Okay, so today guys, I am going to show you how I make my homemade chili. And I kind of hope you guys like this. So last night I soaked all these beans here, and now they've been rinsed, and we are going to take, I've added 8 more cups of water to these beans. This is about 1 pound of beans here. And this is your basic pinto bean. So you just take the 8 cups of water and your beans, and you're just going to pour that right on into your crock pot. And yes, I cook this in a crock pot. I enjoy doing it this way. Just make sure that your beans are all in there. And then what I usually do, everybody's different, so I have my ground, let's see if it'll focus on this. So I have my ground red pepper, cayenne pepper. I have my chili powder, and I have my cumin. Now, not a lot of people like the flavor of this, but I do. So I just take this and I just sprinkle to taste, I guess you could say. I just start this off just so the beans get some of this flavor in. So I start off with my cumin in there, or cumin, however you want to say it. Then I take my chili powder and put that in there with it as well. I try to add a lot of chili powder, by the way. But this is just to get the beans a little bit of flavor as they cook. And then your cayenne, you want to be a little bit, depending on how hot you want this, be a little ginger with this at first. So this is just to get it started. All right. Then I take my spoon and I just mix all this together. And I'm gonna put my crock pot on high because we do want these to get nice and hot real quick, and then we'll move it back down to a low setting. So this is all you're gonna do to start this off. This is just gonna be the bean cooking stage. So we're gonna cover that up with a top, and we will check back in a little while. Okay, so after your beans are cooked, this took probably about, it's been about 4 hours that this has been going. Your beans aren't gonna be fully finished yet, but you should have a nice, rich looking broth here. And this is where you're going to start adding all the rest of your other things in. Okay, so in here I'm going to add chili ready tomatoes, which also have a little bit of jalapeno in them. So we're gonna pour that in there. And I always do 2 cans of these just because I really like the chunks of tomato. So and then at this step you will also add in your tomato paste. So in here you're just going to stir this all together. Okay, so then you want to make sure you blend this all really well together. You want that tomato paste to break apart. You want it to distribute through the chili and into the beans and everything. So a lot of this liquid will absorb into the beans, and some of it will also boil off. So this is going to thicken even more, especially now that we've added the tomato paste to it. You just go ahead and add all this, and then what I do at this point as well is I add a little bit more of my cayenne pepper. So you want to add more of this. Let's see if I can get that to focus on it. There you go. And then I also add in some more chili powder and a little more of the cumin, if it will focus. There you go, and a little more cumin. And at this stage I will also add my granulated garlic. go. Now just remember, when you make chili, you're gonna do your seasonings to taste, like what is your preference? Because a lot of people have different preferences. A lot of people like really spicy chili, and some people like it a little bit more mild. For myself, I definitely like spicier chili, and so I usually end up adding pepper flakes in mine, if I could find them. I do not know where they are. I have to go and get the stool. I'm too short. And then this is where I'm gonna add my garlic in. And this I judge by just by the color on the top. Add that in, and then I'm going to blend this in. And not at this stage, but the next stage I will add diced onion, which I always end up going and getting a whole red onion, and I just dice this up. But I'm not gonna do that at this stage just yet. We're gonna go ahead and blend this really well together, and I'm gonna grab my chili powder, or my chili pepper, and we're gonna add that in here as well. Okay, and then I also add in the crushed red peppers. So that's what we're gonna do now. And I don't try to do too much of this because the kids like to eat this, and I know that sometimes it can be too much for them if you add too much chili. So, and then we just blend that in. All right, you guys, and then I'm just gonna cover this and cook this for about another 2 hours on a low setting. And then we'll come back when it's time to add the onion. Okay guys, so now we're at the step where we are now going to add our chopped red onion. This is starting to smell super amazing. And of course you're just going to stir all your onion in. Now you don't have to use onion if you don't want to. However, I am a huge fan of the onion. I love the way it gives another texture to the beans and to the chili. And you're just gonna work this in. And those onions will start coming apart as it sits in here and cooks a bit more. All right, this is definitely smelling amazing. Oh yeah, very good. Okay, so there you go. That is the homemade chili, all served up, looking amazing. And there you go. You serve it up, piping hot, a little bit of shredded cheese, whatever type of cheese is your preference, and bon appetit.